Hi everyone! So right now I'm going to show you just some tips and tricks for Google Slides and some cool things you can really do. First, let's open up a Slides presentation. So I'm going to go up here to our little Google Apps menu. I'm going to go ahead and click on Slides. And it's going to open up. Now we are already logged into our account, so I'm going to go ahead and just go to a blank document. And whenever I'm trying to do something really cool with slides, I very rarely will use any of this stuff. So you can always select it and delete it. Or, and if you make a mistake, always use this undo button. Or if you don't want to go through and click all these boxes, I always go over here to the slide and I will right click with my mouse and I will change the layout. So I like to have just a blank slide. And this is easy to do. Now, first things first, you want to drop in some photos. And I love slides with photos because you can do some really cool things. So I'm going to go up here to insert. And I'm going to insert an image. Now, for you guys with your Chromebook, you're probably going to want to use Drive. And so when you click on that, any photos that are in your Drive will pop up, anything that's recent. And for me, I'm trying to look for a photo of myself. So this is getting a little too bogged down. I'm on my desktop, so I'm actually going to upload from my computer. So let me find, where am I? There I am. And now my picture's there. This isn't the way I want the picture to look. I want it to look straight. So up here at the top, there's this little bar, almost like a little handle. And if you get your mouse on it, it turns it to that little cross, that little bullseye. And then you can start to swivel it around. Now, I like this. It's a little too big, so I want to pull from one of the corners and make it smaller. One of the challenges of dropping in photos is you will always have a square. And sometimes you could like that. Maybe you really want it to look that way. Sometimes that's not how you want it to look. And so you can actually change the shape of your photo. But first, let's talk about cropping. Let's say this is just too big and there's a lot of stuff in the background you don't want. With it selected, you can see those blue lines around it. I could go up here to crop image, or if I double click on my picture, it will give me those black points. And so now I can kind of wait for my cursor to change a little bit. And I can make this a little bit smaller and crop out anything I don't want. And then to save that, I'm just going to double click again. And it's smaller. Now let's say you're like, ooh, no, I don't want to get rid of that much photo. The undo button is the magic button. Oops. So let's say you like how the picture looks, but you want it to be a different shape. Again, you want to make sure that you have selected it. Okay, you see those blue points around it. And I'm going to go up to the crop button, but I'm going to go to the drop down arrow. And here I want to do a shape. So I'm going to do a heart. Nice. But that heart isn't the shape I want. That does it, but not exactly. I don't know if it's gonna let me fix that. So let's do this instead. I'm gonna do a circle. There we go. Fix this a little bit so it's more of a circle, not so much of an oval. And perfect. Yay! Now, one thing I really like about slides too is, let's say you don't want this giant rectangle. Let's say you want it to be a square. You can actually go up to File and go down to Page Setup. And right now it's at widescreen. I want to do custom. I want this to be 6 inches by 6 inches. And maybe I'll fix this a little bit. And now I can keep adding photos. Sometimes when I have to do an assignment where I need to add photos to something, I have to open up Google and find the photo and download the photo and then put it on the document. And that's just too much of a hassle. And Google has actually solved this problem for us. So let's say I'm working on my Me in 15 and I want to put in a photo of French fries. I'm going to go up here to Insert, Image, but this time instead of uploading or pulling from my drive, I'm going to do Search the Web. And so what this does is it pulls up Google Images without having to leave your slides. So I'm going to look for French fries. Oh, I'm already getting hungry. I like this one. So I'll select the one I want and I will insert it. Sometimes they're super big and sometimes you might want to crop it or get it to be a little bit smaller. Maybe you want to change the shape as well. It's completely up to you. Also, you don't have to have this white background. What you can do is you can always change the color, change the style. So if I go up here to background, it will ask me, do I want to change the color? Do I want to upload an image? I've used both in the past. I use Choose Image a lot for our agendas, but just be careful. If your image is too busy, it's hard to see any other picture on that page. So I'm actually just going to pick a color. I'm going to do this blue. That is too blue. Let me fix that. Just going to move this up a little bit. And I'm going to go to Custom, because that blue will blind us. Maybe I'll do a little bit darker. Yeah, maybe that. Not so blinding. That looks nice. Makes my French fries look weird. Me and my French fries, we match. So there's a lot of really cool things you can add. And one other thing I really like is finding images that are transparent. Now, sometimes you want to show the image and you want to see the background and there's this really nice box around your picture. But sometimes you want an image just to be see-through. You want it to kind of lay on your other pictures. So I'm going to go up here to Insert again, Image, Search the Web, and this time I'm going to look for Transparent Clouds. So here's some clouds, and sometimes you kind of have to play around. Some of them will be transparent and some of them won't. So I'm going to pick this one. And you see how my background is showing through the picture? Even if I put it up here, you can still see some of those pictures underneath it. So that's what transparent does. It's very, very cool. But even though I like clouds, I don't want it exactly behind, like on top of my photo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I selected my clouds and I'm going to right click. So this might be if you hit the Alt button on your keyboard, that's the button right next to your space bar. If you hold that down and click the right side of your touchpad, you'll get this menu. And I'm going to go down to Order. And I want to send to back. And now it's there. I don't have to worry about it. So it's pretty cool to do transparent photos. It's fun to just size and change how photos look. I always like how to do that because it just makes it a little different. And it's really up to you how you want to use this. If you have a photo, let's say it's on your phone, what you can always do is go to your phone and send that photo to your Gmail. So for instance, let me open up my email And please don't judge all of the emails I have here. And I'm gonna find the photo I sent myself. Here we go. I sent myself this photo of my mom and dad, and they're adorable, you guys. But I want to put it on my slides. Now, it's going to be hard to try to just drag this over. So what I'm actually going to do is, after I email it to myself, down here there's the download and the drive button. And I'm actually going to just add it to my drive. Now you could organize it and put it somewhere you'll remember, or just simply add it to your drive. Then I'll go back. I'm going to go to Insert, Image, but this time I'm going to go to Drive. And because I'm in Recent, and this was the latest photo I've put in Drive, it's right at the top. Those guys, I wonder if I can turn them into a heart. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Corny and adorable. I love all of it. I wonder if I cannot make it so. Yes. And even if I wanted to kind of swivel this a little bit. Aw, me and my parents, you guys. You could really have a lot of fun with photos, and I encourage you to play around. Think about changing the shape. Think about inserting photos from the web. Think about changing the color and the shape of your slide. You know, there's really no limit to what you can do. Now, for my assignment, what you're going to need to do is turn this Google slide into a JPEG, into a picture, not a Google slide. So what I like to do is I'll always name it. So, me, let's say. And then what I'm going to do is, my slide is selected. I'm going to go up to File, and I'm going to download it. Now, once you say download, it's going to give you all these different options. And what we want is JPEG. Once you hit download, it's going to start to download onto your Google Drive. Then you'll be able to go to Classroom, find that image of your picture slide, and submit it. So these are my tips and tricks. You can probably find out even more from the World Wide Web, but these are a few that I love and I use all the time. I hope you enjoyed it. See you guys soon. Bye.